Welcome, everyone. On behalf of Dimensions in Travel, we are delighted to have you joining us for our coffee chat to Jordan today with one of our favorite Middle Eastern tour operators, Egypt and beyond. And this is such an opportunity to meet one of our experts personally. This is number 33 in our virtual travel event series. My name is Diana St. James, and I'm one of the owners of Dimensions in Travel, along with Jill Romano. We have 28 travel advisors at Dimensions in Travel who all miss traveling, I'm sure, as much as you do. But these travel events help keep the spirit alive in all of us, and we love being able to share some of our favorite destinations and people with you. Before we get started, here's some reminders. We are recording this event. We record all of our events, and we'll be sending out a link and posting the link on our website as well. We've got everyone in listen only mode, which means your cameras and your video and your microphones are off, and we'd appreciate it if you'd keep it that way to minimize distractions. And finally, if you've got a question, please go ahead and post it in the chat box below. And we will be doing a Q&A at the end, but you can post your questions at any time. So during today's trip to Jordan, we are going to see that Jordan is the home to an abundance of archaeological sites with a colorful history that are going to captivate anyone who's interested in ancient history. It's a land overflowing with dramatic beauty, as you've probably seen in a number of movies that are out there, and the people are warm and welcoming. Whether you're in the capital of Amman, or you're looking at the rose-red city of Petra by candlelight, or having coffee with a Bedouin, you will understand why Lawrence of Arabia fell in love with this amazing place by the end of this presentation. But before we go to Jordan with you, I'd like to introduce my business partner, Jill Romano. Take it away, Jill.
Thank you, Diana, and welcome everyone. We are just delighted today to have KERAK here from Egypt and beyond. And just a little point of reference, if you can see the picture here behind me, that is the beautiful city and gates into Jerash. So today it's my personal and professional honor for me to introduce you to KERAK and Egypt and beyond. Our relationship started about 11 years ago, and they became our preferred on location for all of our customer services in Egypt and beyond, like Jordan. We use the term on location to refer to our preferred partners in country that provide a variety of services like private transfers, tailor-made custom touring, amongst many other services. They have direct contact with each of our suppliers, as well as have hand-selected and know all of their guides and drivers personally. They work with us to select restaurants, villas, hotels, and touring to ensure you, our customer, have the vacation of your dreams. I can personally say that KERAK and his team are dedicated to working with us to create the vacation of your dreams. It was no surprise to us when they were voted the On Location Partner of the Year by more than 800 agencies in North America in 2018, and they're sure to win more to come. KERAK has been in the industry for more than 30 years. The first 15 he spent in Australia working for a luxury travel company. In 2005, he returned to Egypt and started Egypt and Beyond Travel, focusing on individual and small group travel experiences to Jordan, Egypt, and Israel. KERAK, we are delighted you're here today to take us on a journey through Jordan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Diana and Jill, for this wonderful introduction. Today, we're going to showcase the beautiful country of Jordan, and good morning to everyone watching this wonderful show. Let's start now. I'm excited about this. From this first photo and this slide, you can see that's the site of Petra. I'm not sure I'll talk about it. And this picture of this lady, actually, she's one of our clients. Our guide took this photo for her in 2019. And as individual clients, when you book with, I mentioned the travel, expect to get a photo like this, how beautiful this is. Just quickly about Jordan. Ahlan wa sahlan is welcome. And Jordan, quickly, some information about it. The capital city of Jordan is Amman. And it's a small country, about 37, just over 37,000 square miles. The population, around 10 million people live in Jordan. The language is Arabic, but English is widely spoken in Jordan. The currency there is the Jordanian dinar, about 1.4 US dollars. It's quite a strong currency. Jordan is also known as the Switzerland of the Middle East. If you look just on the map to the left, just to see where we're taking you. North to the left is Amman, is the capital, and this is the main hub which major fly into Amman air. So you fly out of Amman air, unless you extend to go to Israel or Egypt and you fly from a different airport. And from the north there you see Jerash, with this is where the picture of Jill, the background of her, you will see this in a moment. Down in the middle, on the left, there is KERAK. Down to the left as well, south is Petra. So I'll move on. We'll just go through quickly this video. Let's give you a quick introduction about it. Let's enjoy this for a few seconds, few minutes. I just stop this here for 1 second. This is a very important shot. When you enter Petra, which we'll talk about it, this is called the Seek. You walk for about 1 kilometer in this area. Once you get out of this Seek between two mountains, very close, narrow, about 2 meters wide like this, on the horizon you start seeing Petra. I call this a magical moment. When you start seeing it, what you see, you have seen in videos, on TVs, and you suddenly see it in front of yourself, I call this a magical moment. Let's, sorry. We'll continue this, but I just wanted to make a point of this. Okay, we'll just go to this moment again. Getting to Jordan is, as I said, major airlines from USA fly to Jordan daily. Lufthansa, British Airways, United Airlines, American Airlines, Jordan Airlines, Alia, flying to Alia Airport, they fly daily from Washington, D.C. with many connections through the other airlines, through Europe directly to Amman. You need a visa for Jordan. You can get it upon arrival, or we can Dimension Travel contact us and we can organize it for you, get it for you upon arrival there. That was just a copy of your passport. Then you don't have to send any passport in the embassy in the USA. Amman is a mix between the old and the new. As you can see from the picture, this old mosque and this new high rises in the background in there. And this is the capital of Jordan. This is where you fly in and out, and you get to do a day sightseeing in there, see the new Amman and old Amman, where the souk is, and some nice archaeological museums in there in Amman. Food. The food in Jordan is just to die for. It's the soil in this area there, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Egypt, Lebanon, it's very fertile soil. It produces really, really nice, tasty food. On the top right-hand side, this is baklava, of course. On the top left, this is mezzas, mix of salad to die for. And that's most people actually, they fill up on this mezzas. On the bottom left, this is called ma'luba. A ma'luba meal, it means upside down. This dish on the far left, it gets filled upside down, and another dish, and you start eating it. And this beautiful salad dish on the right there. So the food really is, you will enjoy your food in Jordan. Talking about food, at Petra we have organized the people to food experience in there. You learn how to cook, cooking courses. You learn how to cook Middle Eastern food, the Jordanian way. And of course, this is pre-COVID photos. So now with the measures the government is taking, everything is 50% capacity. Hotels, restaurants, buses, everything is up. So when most of our bookings come from Dimensions and Travel are individual bookings. So it will be 2 of you, 4 of you. And if there is another group, they do it together and cook your meal and eat it at the Petra kitchen. It's really one of the highlights of the trip, became in the last 5 or 6 years in Jordan. Jerish, in the north of Amman, about less than 1 hour drive. It's a beautiful crossroad of civilization, and you get to see this. And this is actually one of our clients as well. The same clients was at Petra and taken by our guide. See how beautiful it's taking nice pictures. It's not just a tour, it's like for you from the right spot that will stay with you forever. And it's another shot of Petra from a different angle, showing the city in the background in there. Jerish basically is a Roman creation and was built by the Roman structures, Forum and Maximus, Bedouin, and it's easily accessible from Amman, about less than 1 hour drive, and it is a must in every Jordan tour. Bethany, beyond the Jordan, at the Jordan Valley. This is a Christian site. Many people who do pilgrims, they go there for baptism. It's called Al-Maghtas, or baptism. It's at the Jordan Valley, and many pilgrim groups actually go in there for that reason there. So get blessed. From when you are having a tour in Amman and going to, when you drive down south to going to Petra, you get to see 3 sightseeing en route in there. Madaba, which is this old holy land at the Byzantine church. This is a beautiful map when you see it in reality. Amazing, amazing place to be. Mount Nebo, where Moses got the 10 Commandments, and that's what he's seeing there. Actually, back to this, I just want to say something about this. We see where the sunset is there. This is actually the Israel side. Jerusalem is just in the back there, but of course you cannot see it now. But during daytime, you can see the horizon of Jerusalem from this side. And this is a memorial of Moses. And this see the Moses from the plains, move on the top of the Petra across from Jericho. KERAK, this is also, it's a castle, beautiful, beautiful castle, and you can see how the Roman Crusaders built this castle and then was taken by Salah ad-Din from them and then returned into the Mamluks. It's a long, long history about this castle, and but you will enjoy taking photos in there, being in there. And also during that long day, the visit, it's about 6-7 hours tour driving from Amman or Dead Sea going to Petra and doing this sightseeing en route. You get to have a nice lunch at near this castle, down the bottom of this castle. It's beautiful Jordanian meal. You really love it. Petra, the highlights of Jordan. I'm very excited to present Petra because that's becoming actually as famous as the pyramids nowadays, since it's became one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Many visitors have been many people now go to Jordan just for 2-3 days to visit only Petra. And it's unfair on the other sides because Petra has a lot of things to as from doing a trip to Israel or Egypt nearby, when Israel is so accessible to Jordan by road. You can just cross border and you are in there in each side of the border. Petra by night. This is a very exciting event. Takes place every Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. And it's just a magical moment with the silence, and you can see the stars clearly over there. Really a magical moment, and everybody at Petra during these days must attend this Petra by night. And we actually, at Dimension Travel, we include this in our tours. Let's have a quick look about this slide about Petra, which I think you will like. See how beautiful Petra is? It is really a beautiful thing. Next, Wadi Rum. I'm so excited to present Wadi Rum to you. And when you think of Wadi Rum, you think of the movie, of course, Lawrence of Arabia. And at Wadi Rum, it's about 2 hours drive from Petra going south. This is where you have cardamom tea or coffee with the Bedouins. You have a jeep safari, around 2 hours excursion between these beautiful mountains in the middle of nowhere. And you can even do ballooning in there at this beautiful site, subject to weather permissions. But it's when the weather is clear, this is what you get. This beautiful pictures around you there. Dinner at the desert, especially at Wadi Rum, it's something to die for. Imagine like having dinner and the Bedouins are cooking it for you. It's usually lamb there, they do it in there. And if you're vegetarian, they cook vegetarian stuff as well in there. But just the quietness of the place and the magic of the place is unbelievable. You need at least one night there, if not two, just to relax, stay away from the mobile phone, the world, and just have exceptional moments. And over there, you can overnight in a tent. I'll show you the next. Before we go to the tent slide, you can see there why so many movies have been filmed at Wadi Rum. Aladdin, the one I can think of, The Mummy Returns, of course, of Arabia. So many movies, like over 10 movies have been filmed in there. And you can see the beauty of the place allow us to do this. So that's really a must in every itinerary to Jordan. You've got to see Wadi Rum. If it's not an overnight, at least you do a 2-hour jeep excursion and have some tea or lunch with the Bedouins. And it's an experience, unforgettable experience. This is what I'm talking about. This is Sun City Camp, and you can see in there like this tent. They are not actually tents, but you can see from this dome in there. It's all glass. So at night you and the stars, with the quietness of the place, it's really very exciting experience. There are several other camps as well, but we use this. This is one of the most recent one, opened about 2 years ago. And it's really nice there. And the food, because when you stay there in the middle of nowhere, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner there as well. And this is at night. That's what it looks like at night. And of course, with private facilities. Okay, moving, we've done the historical sites of the main highlights of Jordan in this few minutes. Aqaba is a port city, and it's on the Red Sea. Not the Dead Sea. I'll get back to the Dead Sea in a moment. It's the Red Sea where Israel looks at the Red Sea as well, so as Egypt, so as Saudi Arabia. But from Aqaba, it's you can do there snorkeling, diving, water activities. At the end of the tour, usually you do all the historical sightseeing, and then you go have the fun at the end. But personally, I prefer the Dead Sea. Because the Dead Sea, what makes Jordan unique and different to many other countries. You know, the Dead Sea itself, the water there is over 55 times saltier than any other water in an ocean or a sea. Nothing lives in the Dead Sea. There is no fish, no nothing. And this is, I think, why you can fly. And this picture in the middle, this lady there, is when you have this mineral, the mud of the Dead Sea, very good for your skin and your body. Lots of relaxation there. So usually at the end of any Jordan tour, people get choices to stay at Aqaba or Dead Sea. I always recommend the Dead Sea because, as I said, its uniqueness of it's quite unique. And you see this mountain on the other side. This is the Israeli border. The Dead Sea from the Israeli border. But the Dead Sea at the Jordanian side is much nicer in terms of hotel selection. It's just brilliant at the Dead Sea. And you can have lots of medical treatments, just lying by the sun in there. It's just really a wonderful experience. Floating by the Dead Sea, only at the Dead Sea you can do that because of the salty water in there. Just make sure anybody have no scratches or anything, because you will cry from this if you water this salty water in there. You cannot dive, you cannot swim, and just read the paper, take a picture like this, and have lots of fun. My favorite hotel there at the Dead Sea area, there is a Kempinski Ishtar Dead Sea, and one of the newest hotels in there. There is also a Movenpick and Marriott, but the views from the Kempinski are really to die for. When you are done the tour on the way back to Amman from Petra or Wadi Rum, we like to support the local people. That this is a local lady and making this handmade carpet, and we take people there to this shop where these ladies put their stuff to sell at this Iraq Al Amir Woman Cooperative. supporting this. About 15,000 people live in this village near Amman on the way back from Petra. So it's this is what you see in there, like basic stuff, and help you feel really great when you help this local people. FEYNAN Eco Lodge. This is a unique product in Jordan. This is for those who want to stay away from everything for 2-3 nights, doing some desert activities if you want to, doing nothing. There is no phone there, there is no electricity. It's just a proper holiday. And you can see the picture from the left and there in the middle. It's so quiet in the middle of nowhere, and you can see why it's in the middle of nowhere. That's about 2-hour drive from Amman. You can do it on the way to Petra as well. Jordan has lots of investments in the last few years from major hotel chains, like the Fairmont open now in Amman, and at Aqaba at the Red Sea. St. Regis opened up in Amman. The Westin opened in Amman as well. That's such a beautiful hotel. You can see from the picture. And Al Manara Hotel Saraya Aqaba, and that's at the Red Sea. And that's the view you get from your room there. This is the Red Sea. Hyatt Regency opened in Aqaba as well, and we have had few bookings in this pre-COVID, basically for people interested in doing golf, and that's after the tour. They want to have a relaxing 3-4 days after the tour. They do this. I just I forgot to mention that the current procedure to get to Amman, you need a negative PCR test before arrival to Amman. That's you get a certificate from your country, from USA. And upon arrival to Amman airport, they do a PCR test at the airport as well, but that's included in your international ticket. And you go directly to your hotel and they do that test. And when you finish your tour and leave, I think USA now requires a negative PCR test. So it's all taken care of. It's all so simple. Then we're starting. Jordan started tourism after a huge lockdown early January. And we've had very few Americans, very small handful of people. From Europe, we had quite a few numbers from Spain. But the number one tourist actually in Jordan is American people. American traveler admires Jordan. Here is dimensions in travel doing this. This is a must itinerary to do in Jordan. 7 days. That's covering the major, not everything, the major must-see highlights. But after Amman, you visit Jerash and Ajloon, and then you do a city tour of Amman, and then overnight at the Dead Sea, do this, swimming at the Dead Sea, floating, not swimming, floating at the Dead Sea, and then drive to Petra, and in route you see Mount Nib, Madaba, KERAK, then visit Petra, then drive from Petra to Wadi Rum, about 2 hours with Jeep Safari, overnight at Wadi Rum in a tent, then day 7 you return back home. Very simple itinerary. And Dimensions Travel has its different selection as well, 4 days excursion, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. It's covering them, but this tour is covering the must-see, or what we have covered in this presentation. I'm really excited to talk about Jordan. It's such a beautiful country and admired by many Americans. And most Americans who do Jordan, they do it, as I said in the beginning, either with Israel or Egypt, Jordan, and Israel. We have a program called Ancient Civilization, covering the 3 countries in 19 days. It's a really all dimension travel stuff, can talk to you about it. I would like to thank Diana and Jill for this wonderful opportunity. I hope I haven't talked too much. Questions, it's time for your questions. I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tariq. We do have time for questions. That was fascinating. And I had no idea Petra was built in 300 was it BC?
BC.
The workmanship is unbelievable.
No idea.
I also wanted to mention that in Rick Steves' most recent documentary that he did on his visits to Egypt, that Tariq was his point person, arranged everything to make sure that Rick's trip went smoothly, and included in some of the episodes you see right now is a meal that Tariq has with Rick Steves, and Rick recommends Tariq very highly. So I think a validation from Rick Steves is a wonderful thing to have. So congratulations on that as well, Tariq.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Jill, do you want to take a look at some questions we might have?
Yes, I'd be happy to. And Tariq, thank you so much. I relived every moment of my trip from a couple of years ago and saw a couple of new things as well. And for all of you that are a little hesitant about the whole Dead Sea and the mud, you have to do it. You absolutely have to do it. You will laugh, you will have fun. And when you come out, you will just feel, rejuvenated, and your skin will be the smoothest since probably the day you were born. So you definitely want to do that. So a few questions. One of the questions is the seasons. Could you give us an idea of what you recommend for the best seasons to visit?
The best season to visit Jordan, generally from October till end of April. It's nice weather. The temperature about Celsius, I'll talk Celsius, between 6 degrees to 22 degrees. That's Celsius. I don't know. Okay. May and September are good times to go. June is not too bad. Avoid July, August. It's very hot, but lately in the last few years, we have had many Americans coming in July and August. The heat there is dry. It's a dry heat. It's okay, but the best time generally is October till the end of April.
And maybe something to tie in with Petra as well, that we experienced. Some in the group that I was in, actually somebody had twisted their ankle. So we did a variety of transportation. Some of us walked, some of us took horseback, and some took the horse and carriage. So we didn't have anybody on the back of any of the donkeys, but there's always a way to get around, and there was plenty of time to stop and stand in the shade, drink lots of water. So even if it's warm, it's still a fabulous place to visit. Another question that we had, you talked early on about the visas. Could you give us all an idea of what the cost is approximately for the visas to enter into Jordan? Single
entry, $56.
Great.
Yeah, and you can get it in USA. You can handle this for them, Diana and Jill, or you can just send us the copy of the passport of the clients, and we take care of it. They find it ready for them upon arrival.
Wonderful. One of the places you didn't mention, but you had a lot to cover, is the wonderful royal collection, the automobile collection. And I bring that up because we did have a question about where is Queen Noor living currently?
Queen
Noor.
Queen Noor, that's a good question.
I think she's back in the United States.
Queen Noor, the mother of King
of the King, yes, the American.
I think she's back in the States.
I think so too.
So there's no news about her in Jordan at all. But the Queen Rania, the wife of the King Abdullah now, yes. She's there.
Yes, absolutely. Could you speak to us a little bit? You mentioned that you have had some travelers in Jordan. We, I think, are all used to our own bubble in terms of, what we're doing with COVID and wearing a mask when we go out and dining and things like that. What currently could someone expect in terms of a visit in Jordan? All of the restaurants are open. Is there a lot of outdoor dining? Is there indoor dining?
No, not many places are open. Not many hotels are even now open, but the ones we select are open, like the Petra guest house, Movenpick Petra. There were and several hotels in Amman. It's not, and we are working on 50% occupancy for from hotel has to be no more than 50%. The bus, the car we are dealing with. The restaurant cannot fill up more than 50%. So in my opinion, at the moment, it is with our region, I would say Jordan and Egypt. I cannot say Israel now because Israel is not open for tourism yet. It's the best time to visit. And we had American people in Egypt and in Jordan a few weeks ago. It's empty. You get to see Petra almost for yourself. It's private. And it's like when you go to a restaurant in there are restaurants in these areas. Half the restaurants are open at the hotels, not all of them. You will not feel much different, except you will have the privilege or having Jordan for yourself. It's a great time to visit, and it's completely safe. We wear masks all the time, especially in the car or on the sightseeing. If it's open air, you take off the mask. But when our guide is close, we leave 2 meters away. We're taking it serious precautions, and we had many clients came with negative PCR tests, and they left with negative PCR tests. And it's really the quietest time to visit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. That's it for questions right now. So thank you again so much. And all of you that are on the call today, or those that might be watching us later on, please reach out to your Dimensions in travel advisor. They would be delighted to work with Tariq and his team to put together a wonderful trip in Egypt, Jordan, and Israel when they open.
Thank you again, Tariq, and we look forward to sending you clients in 2021 and 2022. You're our go-to person. So thank you again for your time today, and thank you everyone for attending as well. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.